Godaya Krishna Pristaya Bhagale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani Namaste Sandhari. Of course, we want to see the books behind.
Yeah, sure.
So, welcome to By Youth. Nanda Kumar Prabhu asked me to say something about Prabhupada's books. It's an unlimited topic. Prabhupada's whole movement is based on books, internally and externally. Internally, it's for our own advancement, our own connection with Krishna, our own hearing about Krishna, our own being with Krishna, associating with the acharyas. Externally, it's our way of reaching out and giving other people a chance to connect with Krishna. Can see how people are. There's not much we can do for the mass of people. Of course, Indian people, it's a little bit different, but they need Prabhupada's books. We can meet them. They don't want to hear very much. They don't have time. But if they read the book, even if they don't read it, they get benefit by having it. So we always try to encourage everybody to read the books more. Prabhupada was very sober about it. He pushed so much for book distribution, but he told us, if somebody was, a few times we saw Prabhupada, many times it happened. Somebody was proud, they distributed many books. Prabhupada would just say, you should read my books. Why don't you read the book? Like that. But in other times when devotees thought, we're just going to study, we're going to make a program, do nothing but study all day, he didn't like that either. So you have to distribute the books. It all goes together. Prabhupada gave the best of his life to translating the books for us and for everybody and for the future. And there'll be like law books for 10,000 years. He said that's how long the Lord Chaitanya's movement can become a little prominent in Kali Yuga. But beyond that, it'll still go on. Prabhupada worked so hard in India to translate, he had some old broken down typewriter, and then to get some publication, and you can read the Lilamrita, how much trouble that was, how much difficulty. He had no money, but somehow in India you can print the books and you can just take, if you can pay for 1 or 2 or 10, you can take those and sell them and then come and get more. That's what he did. And when he went to America, that's all he had was a few boxes of books, no money, a few possessions, that's all. He didn't know what he was going to do there except depend on Krishna, but obviously he was depending on Srimad Bhagavatam. He would go every day and try to sell them. Normally he didn't sell them, he'd find a bookshop that would keep the book in stock, and he would call back, and if somebody bought it, he would collect the money and leave another book. It wasn't a big business. Even after Prabhupada's departure, devotees went around all the bookshops in New York City and found many of those original Bhagavatams that Prabhupada had left behind. But as things went on and Krishna sent so many helpers, his translation speed picked up, and he pushed publication. And the BBT was created, and became a very advanced publishing business to publish and distribute. So we know how much Prabhupada stressed it. But our movement is a literary movement, starting from Vyasadeva. He understood the need in Kali Yuga that people cannot remember. Things are so crazy. He wrote down all the Vedic knowledge in all different levels for all kinds of people. And he passed that on, and then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who started to spread the movement much wider, the Bhakti movement. He instructed his immediate disciples, especially Rupa and Sanatan, even what books to write, what they should write about. And they wrote so many books, and their followers wrote so many more books. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baladev Bhushana, and then Bhaktisiddhanta, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, so many books and the stress of Bhakti Siddhanta, even put a printing press like one altar and running the press so the deity could hear it. It was such an important thing. So Prabhupada told us, I'm whipping my disciples, distribute books, distribute books, distribute books. He said that so many times. This would be the most pleasing thing to him. And publication of books, of course, in all languages now, the Bhagavad Gita is, we could say, the most important book, because we see that all the preaching, all the purports of Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita are full of Bhagavad Gita references, all of Prabhupada's lectures. It's Krishna's personal words. Now we have Gita Jayanti coming the day after tomorrow. Today's the end of the world, but it'll still be Gita Jayanti, because if it was the end of the world, it'd just start over again anyway. But people get all excited about these crazy things, that are just misinterpretations of some ancient culture. But when we try to present the Vedas, they don't want to listen, because it means you have to surrender to Krishna. But surrender to Krishna is the most pleasant thing. So we just, we'd like to see everybody more and more. We're reading these books not just to learn something, not just to become a good arguer or a good, quoter that we know something, but that we're relishing a transcendental association. We're relishing to actually be with Krishna, to enter into the spiritual world. And, the book is none different than Krishna, none different than Prabhupada, none different than the previous acharyas. So all these things, it's unlimited. You're very fortunate to be in an environment where there's so many devotees, so many people are studying a lot, Bhakti Shastri and this, that, and it's, along with whatever other study we have to do to live in this material world. That's one Dharma, but the real Dharma is also to just be connected with Krishna and keep the mind, on a higher level, and let Krishna take over. Other things will go smoothly now. So I thank you for giving me a chance to speak. Of course, this is something we always talking about, Prabhupada's books, how to distribute the books, and try to answer questions. Anyone can preach Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada just say, I like this book. And Prabhupada said, one who teaches it, no one is more dear. Or Krishna says, actually. And one who studies Bhagavad Gita worships Krishna by his intelligence. Intelligence is the highest, most important thing above the mind and senses. Among the gross body is the intelligence. We want to utilize that, not just to get a PhD or, get a good business, but to study Bhagavad Gita and really worship Krishna in the highest way like that. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay.